You've been calling it all mutton, or all lamb. But just like there's a world of difference between a filet mignon and a tomahawk, there's a world of difference between the meat types in this family. 7 completely different meats, different ages, different animals, different flavors, different prices, different ways to cook them. Most people have only ever tried 1 or 2. Today, we go through all of them.
Milk-fed lamb. This is the rarest and most expensive sheep meat in the world. These are lambs under 8 weeks old, still nursing from their mothers. They haven't grazed a single day. Their entire diet is milk. And that changes everything about the meat. The color is almost white, the palest pink you'll ever see in red meat. The fat is pure white. The texture is so tender it almost falls apart if you look at it wrong. And the flavor? Milky, sweet, delicate. Almost no trace of the gamey note you associate with sheep at all. It tastes clean and rich at the same time, like something between veal and the mildest lamb you've ever had. In Spain, it's called lechazo, and in the region of Castilla, roasting a whole milk-fed lamb in a wood-fired oven is one of the most celebrated culinary traditions in the country. In Italy, a bacchio alla romana, Roman-style milk-fed lamb, is considered a seasonal delicacy. In France, agneau de lait is a luxury item on fine dining menus. You won't find this at a regular supermarket. You won't find it at most butchers. This is special order territory. But if you ever get the chance, roast it simply. Salt, olive oil, and heat. Nothing else. The meat does everything.
Spring lamb. The one that shows up every Easter. The one people have been eating in spring celebrations for thousands of years. Spring lambs are between 3 and 5 months old. They've been weaned from milk, but they're still very young. They've started grazing on fresh spring grass, and that new grass flavor comes through in the meat. Slightly grassy, slightly sweet, still very mild. The meat is pale pink, darker than milk-fed, lighter than regular lamb. It's lean, with very little fat. That leanness means it cooks quickly and dries out fast if you're not careful. This is the lamb of tradition. In the UK and Ireland, lamb roasts at Easter have been a cultural ritual for generations. In Greece, spit-roasted spring lamb at Easter, kokoretsi, is a national celebration. In the Middle East, spring lamb is the Eid feast. In Morocco, mashoui, a whole spring lamb slow-roasted over coals, is served at weddings. The flavor is gentle. It won't challenge you. It won't surprise you. But it will satisfy you in the way that only something deeply traditional can.
Lamb. The standard. The one most of the world thinks of when they think sheep meat. This is sheep between 6 months and 12 months old enough to have developed real flavor from months of grazing, young enough that the muscle fibers are still tender, the fat still mild, the texture still forgiving. The meat is a deeper pink red than spring lamb. There's more visible fat, especially on cuts like the shoulder and leg. That fat is where most of the distinctive lamb flavor lives. It carries aromatic fatty acids that give lamb its characteristic note, that clean, slightly grassy, slightly sweet flavor that makes it unmistakably itself. Here's something most people don't know. The country the lamb comes from changes the flavor significantly. New Zealand and Australian lamb is grass-fed its entire life, giving it a slightly stronger, earthier flavor. American domestic lamb is often partly grain-finished, making it milder and slightly sweeter. British lamb varies by region. Welsh mountain lamb has a different character from lowland English lamb because the animals graze on completely different plants. This is the most versatile meat in the family. Grill it, roast it, braise it, slow cook it. It handles almost everything.
Hogget, the most underrated meat in this entire category. Hogget is sheep between 1 and 2 years old. It sits exactly between lamb and mutton, and that middle position is not a compromise, it's an advantage.
The animal has spent a full year or more grazing across different seasons: spring grass, summer herbs, autumn roughage. All of those seasons of grazing accumulate in the fat. The fat becomes richer, more complex, more layered. The meat develops real depth without crossing into the territory of full mutton intensity. As one British food writer put it, Hogget has the benefits of 4 seasons of flavor. You get tenderness that's still close to lamb, but a depth of taste that lamb simply hasn't had time to develop. This is the cut that professional chefs seek out, not because it's trendy, because it genuinely tastes better in certain dishes. A slow-braised Hogget shoulder, a Hogget chop cooked medium rare on a cast iron pan, a Hogget stew with root vegetables on a cold evening. The problem? Hogget is rare. Most supermarkets don't stock it. Much of what's sold as lamb in supermarkets is actually Hogget, legally relabeled because lamb sells better. To get the real thing, you need a specialist butcher or a farm shop. But if you find it, buy it. It's arguably the best value sheep meat you can get.
Mutton, the oldest sheep on this list and the boldest flavor. Mutton comes from sheep over 2 years old, often 3 or even 4. The meat is dark red, almost burgundy. The fat is thick and slightly yellowish. The texture is firm and dense. And the flavor? Strong, deep, gamey, uncompromising. This is not a meat that tries to please everyone. It has a specific, powerful character. Those signature sheep fatty acids have been building for years, and they show up loudly in every bite. Some people find it overwhelming. Others find it the most satisfying meat they've ever eaten. It's rarely in between. But here's the thing about mutton. It was the dominant sheep meat for most of human history. Before refrigeration, before intensive farming, sheep were kept for wool and milk first, and only slaughtered for meat when they were older. Mutton was the norm. Lamb was the luxury. In Kentucky barbecue, mutton is smoked low and slow over hickory wood, a tradition going back over a century. In British cooking, mutton has made a comeback among serious chefs who value its depth. In South Asian cuisine, older sheep or goat, both called mutton, are the foundation of the greatest slow-cooked dishes in the world. Mutton demands slow cooking. Give it low heat, moisture, and time. Goat mutton, the one that confuses everyone and causes arguments across 3 continents. In South Asia, the Caribbean, and much of Africa, the word mutton almost always means goat. Not sheep, goat. When someone in Pakistan or India orders mutton karahi, it's goat. When someone in Jamaica makes mutton curry, it's goat. The terminology evolved because both animals were used similarly, and in many regions, goat was more available than sheep. But goat meat is a genuinely different thing from sheep mutton. Here's how they compare. Goat is significantly leaner than sheep mutton, much less fat. That leanness means the flavor is carried differently. It's tangy, slightly earthy, with a distinctive note that some describe as gamey, in a cleaner way than mutton. It has a slight sweetness that mutton doesn't have. Because goat is so lean, it dries out much faster than mutton. This is why slow cooking, with plenty of liquid, is almost mandatory. Without moisture, goat becomes tough and dry very quickly. But when it's cooked right, slow, low, with bold spices, goat meat produces some of the most complex, satisfying dishes in the world. Salt marsh lamb. The rarest, most sought-after sheep meat in the world. These are sheep that graze on coastal salt marshes, land that is regularly washed by sea tides, covered in salt-tolerant grasses, sea lavender, samphire, and wild coastal herbs. The sheep eat these plants every single day, and those plants change the meat in a way that nothing else can replicate. The meat is naturally pre-seasoned. The salt from the coastal plants works into the flesh over the animal's lifetime, gently, subtly, from the inside out.
You could cook salt marsh lamb with almost no additional salt, and it would still taste perfectly seasoned. The coastal herbs, the samphire, the sea lavender, leave herbal notes in the fat that you can taste in every bite. In France, Agneau de Pré-Salé from the Bay of Mont-Saint-Michel is one of the most protected and celebrated meats in the country. It carries a designation the same way champagne does. Only lamb raised in that specific salt marsh can carry the name. In Wales, salt marsh lamb from the Gower Peninsula is considered a national treasure. The flavor is unlike any other sheep meat. It's rich, mineral, herbal, and complex all at the same time. The best chefs in the world seek it out specifically, and it comes at a price that reflects how rare and difficult it is to produce. If you ever see it at a butcher, buy it. Cook it simply. It has already done most of the work for you.
7 types, 1 animal family, a completely different eating experience at every stage. From the almost white delicacy of a milk-fed lamb to the deep, dark boldness of aged mutton. From the lean, tangy character of goat to the mineral complexity of salt marsh lamb that tastes like it was seasoned by the sea itself. Most people spend their whole lives eating only 1 or 2 of these. Now you know all 7, and you know exactly what makes each one different. Which one do you want me to go deeper on? The full history of mutton, how to cook Hogget perfectly, or where to find salt marsh lamb near you? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe if you're new. New video every week. And I'll see you in the next one.